Germany has been using propaganda pretty good because everybody's believing that they're already pushing down and Churchill's dead. But that's not exactly true right now. For the people, they're excited because they're winning. But for the elite officials who know about this stuff, they are quoting from the great YouTuber Acidif Movie, and they're basically saying, we're all gonna die, die, die! We're all gonna die, die! They're technically Japan ever since Midway happened, and Japan declared it is impossible for us to win. You know law of attraction, you know that thing? I'm pretty sure that it worked at this point because, yeah, for Japan it did not end with a faithful surrender and bye-bye. It ended with 2 cities being destroyed by 1 bomb. 2 bombs. 1 for each city. That's what I meant. And Germany was about to get even more wrecked. At this point, everybody is looking at what the Germans are doing. But right after this one invasion into a tiny beach, this perspective will change in a snap. I can't do a snap. Come on, I'm 9 years old! And here is where it gets freaky. D-Day, standing for Day, which is complicated. That's why everybody goes with D-Day instead of day and day. That's not a good combination, masterminds of the century. And here, you see, I've done an entire series on the D-Day plannings and invasion, but yeah, I probably would have gotten copyright issues because I basically copy and pasted everything in this extra credits episode and shoved it into a 3-part series, just like them. But here I'm going to make it as simple as possible. And those videos, you can't see it because 1, I don't want to be copyrighted and attacked, and number 2, I do not like that video and it sucked a lot. I do not like any of my videos from that time. So I started this, so I just recreated all my videos. Now, let's get on the subject. But how are they supposed to get Germany to focus all their troops onto a false position? I mean, there's like this giant Atlantic wall spreading from France all the way to Norway, because they have Norway. Also, the Soviet Union, they waged war against Finland, this tiny nation. I mean, the Soviet Union was like, we can win this war, it's so easy. It's just a tiny little country about the size of your pinky finger. What could go wrong? I mean, they're just a country with bolt-action rifles that have a range of 7 feet and scopes that where it's basically the same amount of quality as a 1967 video clip on a television set. And best of all, they eat snow. No, seriously, they eat snow. So yeah, it's pretty low chance that the war was going to even last more than a few months. So really, what could go wrong? The war ended up lasting 3 years, which is roughly half of the entire Second World War. And after it, the Soviet Union was feeling pretty good. I mean, they were the largest nation in the world. They easily was able to defeat the smaller nation. Pretty good for a nation with such a large army and such a large amount of territory, right? Yeah, it went really well. It did not go well. I mean, like, a bunch of Russian soldiers died, mainly because they were wearing brown in the middle of snow. So, how easy it is to tell brown soldiers against white snow. I'd say it's easy. Okay, let's go back down to Germany. Now, how exactly were they going to be able to change the perception of the Hitler? It was simple. James Bond. They did not actually use James Bond. They just used spies. they took a bunch of German spies, and guess what? All these German spies were double agents, and they actually really worked for the British. And they gave them a bunch of fake stuff, and then they went back to Germany and said, "Oh, Hitler! So we just found out that the Allies were going to invade the territory of Calais, not Normandy, because they're dumb and they will be choosing the best spot for them, aka the worst spot for them. So, yeah, they're invading here, not here, like Normandy. Who's heard of that? They're not gonna be invading there." And Hitler said, "I present you with the Iron Cross medal for the..." Yeah, Hitler awarded the people who eventually led to his demise. Whoop. Smart brains! No, it was absolutely disgustingly, paranoidally, I'm not sure if that's a word, stupid. And of course, but what else could make Germany be like, okay, really, let's send our military forces there? They were going to build a ghost army. No, not the ones from Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is not what we're looking for. We mean a false army, aka the 1st Infantry Division, led by the real George Patton, the highest military general of the United States of America. The Ghost Army, or the 1st Infantry Division, whatever you want to call it, consisted of rubber tanks, wooden aircraft, and of course, cardboard models of soldiers. Just kidding, they were brick models of soldiers, but nobody cares about that because they were realistic. And when the Luftwaffe flew their planes over the place, and they were like, "They will be invading Calais!" And anybody who comes down to the real army that is about to invade Omaha, Judo, Gold, and all those other codenamed beaches in the territory known as Omaha, you know what's gonna happen. The worst thing that can happen, actually. Yeah. The Luftwaffe planes would not be shot down. They would fire a small needle. Okay, by the way, all of this is fake. It's just my imagination. So what? My imagination is crazy. I mean, I can think of many fun ways to kill people. I'm sure I'm the only one proud of being able to do that, because there are other people who are able to do that, and I'm the only one who's proud of it. So I'm proud of it for knowing how to make people die in my imagination. And basically, they would just chuck a bunch of needles up with gunpowder, all in a case enclosed on top of the needle, fling it up, go push it in, and now the high speed will light the gunpowder. It won't burst into fire because it's a compressed chamber, and bah! Boom! Everybody dies and nobody can get out. Awesome. And if it does not work, the needle will just, let air in and have it blow up because of the amount of air. Or maybe it can fall down. Nah, I appreciate the blowing up thing. And after all of this, they were about to make the landing, and it was stopped by weather. So they were waiting until one weather enthusiast was like, "I believe it shall be sunny on the 4th. And you know what was gonna happen? Roosevelt was like, "Churchill, Stalin..." Oh wait, no, you're too busy invading Finland. "Let's go on an adventure!" And they sailed with a bunch of ships all the way down to Normandy's coast. And they dropped a few landing pads and floated all the way over there, and that was a hellfire. The Germans opened fire with everything that they had. Hitler had made the mistake of technically being like, "Okay, my my entire Panzer army. Cut, cut. A few tanks for you and a few tanks for you. I am sure that the main attack won't be coming from Normandy, and you shall get an extra little tank, and the rest of mine shall be near Berlin for my personal use only. And Hitler ended up regretting this decision because, he's a mastermind. Awesome! The Germans opened fire with everything that they got, like I said earlier, but eventually they ran out of ammo. So boom, Normandy fell. Now you can visit the Omaha Beach coast, where it is now a graveyard for all the people who died. It will become one of the single most bloodiest days in American history. So salute all the brave men who died for their country. And of course, tell Stalin to stop invading his tiny country. You don't even need it.